Hi everyone, I'm David Wojcik and this is MBOT TV. Stories we covered this week: Peel Region layers on business restrictions. We get an update on business confidence in Ontario. Peel Region moves to COVID lockdown status, and the government financial relief portals finally open. This portion of MBOT TV is brought to you by Nurse Next Door. The layering on of regulations by Dr. Lawrence Lowe, Peel Region's Chief Medical Officer, has brought about new concerns for Mississauga businesses. We sat down with labor lawyer Jonathan Borelli to get his interpretation of what the new restrictions mean.
Failure to comply with these rules that we'll talk about today can attract a fine of $5,000 a day, right? So for some small businesses, that might be quite significant. If there is an employee who is diagnosed with COVID or who has symptoms of COVID, right, they must be excluded from the workplace. So they cannot be allowed to enter. And so what that is doing there is really reinforcing the workplace screening that we know is already present for every employer in Ontario. So what that is before an employee enters the workplace, the employer must perform a screening of certain questions that the Ontario government set out. Essentially, it's, do you have symptoms? Were you in close contact with anyone who had symptoms or who was diagnosed, and have you traveled?
Every year, the Ontario Chamber of Commerce conducts a business confidence survey. The results released in the spring of 2020 included results from a survey that was conducted pre-COVID. So the OCC headed back to the business community to check the pulse of business confidence now that we've been in a COVID world for several months. Here's what Rocco Rossi, the president and CEO of the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, had to say about the findings.
Well, for us, it actually declined. And this was end of October, so pre these prospective additional restrictions that we're hearing about. It showed confidence going down to 20% of our membership, which is the lowest that we've ever recorded since we began testing for this in 2011.
Would you like to save money on your employee benefits? The Chamber Plan can help.
The Chamber's plan now offers employee benefit programs with greater selection, higher coverage levels, and more value than ever before. Take another look and see why we're the choice of more small businesses than any other plan in Canada. The Chamber's plan. It's for your benefit.
And now it's time for our lightning round with Brad Butt, the Vice President of Government and Stakeholder Relations. Brad, are you all set?
Off we go.
All right. Peel moved into a COVID lockdown effective on Sunday. Brad, what does that mean for business?
Well, a fair number of businesses now are closed for at least the 28 days that's was announced by the Premier on Friday. And obviously some very devastating news for a lot of businesses. So certainly your local restaurant no longer will have indoor or outdoor dining. Retail stores are limited. The small ones completely closed. Obviously no cinemas, no gyms, lots of other public places completely closed. So it's going to be a very, very tough 28 days.
Brad, the rent relief program portal opened up for the federal government. What does that mean for businesses in Peel Region?
Well, yes, starting on November 23rd, you can start applying now as a direct tenant for rent relief through the Canada Emergency Rent Relief Program. The portal is open, ready to accept applications, a minimum 65% of rent, up to as high as 90% in so-called lockdown areas like we are in Peel. So I certainly would encourage businesses to get online, apply right away.
Brad, the Ontario government opened up their relief programs recently, and they increased the amounts. Tell us about it.
So originally it was $300 million, again, in the lockdown and restricted areas. The province has doubled that. This is to apply for property tax relief and relief from utilities, so your hydro bill and your gas bill. So again, that portal is open, ready to roll. I would encourage businesses, again, get your paperwork together, get your application in, get the money you deserve.
Brad, Mississauga Council was musing over some outdoor business activities and what that might mean for retailers. What was that all about?
Well, they're going to hold a public meeting on December 9th, and I guess what it's going to mean is we can have sidewalk sales every day of the week, I guess. It just will allow retailers predominantly to be able to display a product outdoors. I'm not quite sure how that works in the middle of winter, but we'll leave that up to the creativity of the local businesses. But it will allow for outdoor sales and display for a lot of businesses that maybe will be able to take advantage of that. But December 9th is when the bylaw will be dealt with by council.
And on the international trade front, the UK they've been trying to get out of the economic union, but Canada and the UK have been talking about a trade deal. Where are we on that?
So on Saturday, Prime Minister Trudeau and UK President Boris Johnson announced that Canada and the UK have entered into a trade, what they're calling continuity pact for now. The UK is still in the European trade deal until January of 2021, but I think both countries wanted to get moving on making sure there'd be a continuation of free trade between the two countries once Brexit is official.
Excellent. That's it for our lightning round. Brad, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next week.
Always a pleasure.
And now for our upcoming events listing with Stephanie Giorgio. Stephanie.
Thank you, David. And here's what's coming up at your Mississauga Board of Trade.
MBOT Award nominations are still open. Visit us at mbot.com/awards and nominate another business or nominate yourself. The Business Awards of Excellence event has been postponed to the spring of 2021. Award nominations are open until December 20th.
Back to you, David.
Thanks, Stephanie. If you have any questions about how to register for an event, increase awareness for your business, or have your company featured on MBOT TV, contact your membership services manager by calling 905-273-6151 and press 0 to get connected. Details about these stories and events are available at www.mbot.com. Until next week, this is David Wojcik wishing you continued success in your business.